Okay, here we go. We're going to try again to add Leah. Hello, I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life and health coach, and I'm here today to interview Leah Sturdivant. She has been a very successful participant in my 90-day challenges, and we're going to discuss why I say challenges in the interview. But let me add her on here. I'm inviting her. Okay, so we'll see. All right, it says I don't have any viewers, so I'm going to check it out. Okay. 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 All right. Okay, I see someone's on here. Thank y'all for joining me. I know hey Danielle, good to see you. Hey Bonnie. Yep, let's see who else is going to hop on here. So Leah's story is really an amazing story, and after I do her interview, I'm going to actually post her before and after. She's lost over 40 pounds, and I'm just so proud of her. And she's going to share in her interview just her weight loss journey, just how how she started and then kind of fell off, and then this time, what she's going to describe for you is the difference in a diet and a lifestyle. And I think that's what she and I were just discussing earlier today, just kind of some of the highlights that we wanted to hit on. And one of the things we were talking about is how, until you get that switch, until you can make that switch, hey Tracy, and understand that it really is a way to relate to food and moving food down on the priority list. You're not going to have long-term success, especially for people that have struggled with weight for a long time. And that's who most of my clients are. They've had this ongoing, dance with food and diet after diet and failures and successes. Hey, Elizabeth, thanks for joining me. Hey, Karen. And so it's really when you make the transformation. And even in this challenge I've got going right now, I've got about 38 people in this challenge. It was not until, even those people, I can see them beginning to make the switch. They're switching from being on a diet, and even in their language, when we get on the Marco Polo videos, they'll say my diet, and they'll say, no, it's my lifestyle. So that's really what we're talking about here, is making that switch. So let me see. I don't see Leah on here. I don't even know. But let me pop over here and see if I can get her here. No, she's not here. So actually all right, I'm going to invite you, Leah. All right, so hopefully Facebook and oh goodness gracious. Here we go. All right, there we go. I'm back. All right, so let me see. I'm trying again. If you're looking over my shoulder, you'll see my daughter out there. That girl just built those steps out there by that truck. You see that in the background? Today, she built those steps for me. I love it. I love it. Okay, so hey, Cheryl. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Danielle. I don't even know. Evidently, there's something on Leah's phone that she needs to turn on. But if we don't figure it out, listen, I don't quit. I'm going to keep going until we can figure out how. All right, so I just saw somebody else jump on. Let me see if that might be Leah. Nope, not Leah. There's Jill. Okay. Nope, I don't see her yet.
Have you hit the double?
I hit the double person. I did, and it brings me over there, but it doesn't show me any requests for her. Okay, here we go. Thanks for joining me. I hope that little bit helped you. I will definitely get with Leah. If I have to go to her house and video it, we'll make it happen. But thanks for joining me. If you are interested in my challenge, I'm adding people right now. The next challenge starts on the 26th. It's going to be the best yet. And the reason I say that is because every challenge is better, okay? Every challenge, because I work really, really hard to make it better. So this challenge, I think, probably notched it up about 20 to 30% in this last challenge because of COVID and because we added the Marco Polo app. Okay, here we go. Here's Leah. Woo woo! All right. Okay, I see you there now. I'm going to approve you. Okay, Leah is being added as we speak. I see it clicking on and off. So hang with me, and here we go. So Leah's going to start off. There she is. Amazing. In person, the real you. Okay. All right. So Leah, thank you so much for being patient. And so, we talked about a little earlier this afternoon just about what we wanted to cover. We didn't want this to go on a long time, but just start with your weight loss journey and yeah, go ahead.
Well,
You've got the floor.
the beginning of the story was when I was getting ready to go to college. I was very active in high school and never thought about a weight problem. I ate meals with my family. But when I went to college, people kept saying to me, you need to be careful about not gaining that freshman 15 pounds.
We're frozen.
So I'll come back.
Started
Okay.
playing with my diet at that time, and I actually ended up losing about 25 pounds and when I look back at the pictures, looked anorexic. But I started playing with food, and my body image kind of became warped at that time. I just felt like I was never skinny enough. So began a lifelong battle with food.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so tell me, we talked about the difference in a diet when you first started. You did the challenge and you did pretty good.
I did.
And then tell what happened.
Well, I've tried diets throughout my whole life. If there's a diet, I've probably been on it at some time. But it makes sense that if you go on something, that if you go off, then everything that you've done is for naught. And that's what's happened to me over and over and over again. And even the first time I joined the Health Revival Challenge, I still had the mindset of either being on the diet or off the diet. And so that is why, even though I was having great success, when I jumped off and stayed off, then I looked up and a few weeks later or a few months later was right back to where I began again. So I would say that's why I was not successful in the long-term view of success the first time. But
Yeah,
I knew it had worked for me. I knew it had been comfortable. But I decided when the COVID thing happened and we were able to stay home and be home, I had a lot more time to think and just to consider what my thinking had been about food and about dieting and those kind of things. And I think even though COVID's a terrible thing, it gave me the opportunity to just stop in my tracks and think about what I had been doing to my body all these years.
Yeah. I think you were eating out a good bit before.
We did.
Yeah.
And I had told myself that I didn't like to cook. And now I found out that that's so not true. I've enjoyed so much making meals with my children and my grandchildren and my husband and trying new things. And so I found a joy in cooking that I never even knew I had.
Right.
So
That's something we find often. I've had several clients say, I never cooked because I didn't think I liked to cook. But
right.
Once you're forced to do it or you realize that eating out, fast food just doesn't provide you with good nourishment.
Right.
And there's nothing like sitting around a table. And the other thing I say, there's nothing like getting off work and knowing you got something in the refrigerator where you've done a food that you can do.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me about your success, where you started, where you are now. I know you told me you've lost over 40 pounds. I'm so proud of you.
And I don't know exactly how much. I know it was 40 pounds about 3 weeks ago, but I don't weigh very much. So I'm instead trying to get my you know, my feel good from just sticking with the plan and knowing that I'm doing the right thing for my body. And so I've learned how to plan ahead, and what a great tool that is for me. For example, I knew I had a vacation coming up in a few days that actually has been canceled now, but I had decided to just work really hard to be optimal and fast just to get my mindset ready. And I'm learning this time how to use all the tools that your program has to offer. It's not just a list of what to eat and what not to eat. There's so much more that has helped me. The coaching, the information about what I was doing to my body and what I can be doing instead. The support from other women has been amazing.
Yeah.
New
Talk about that.
relationships. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a Marco Polo group. So before, I mean, I definitely was using the app for the program to keep track of my success, but rather than being kind of in myself all the time, the Marco Polo helps me to connect with other women who have the same or very similar challenges that I do, and for us to encourage one another, to assure each other that we're not what the scales say that we are. You know, it's just been so valuable to change even the way I look at myself, to actually minister to others and have them minister to me as we're going through this together.
One of the things we talked about a little while ago was talking about, you know, you're not a smoker, so you don't buy cigarettes.
Oh,
So when you're a healthy, yeah,
that helped me
yeah,
so much. And I don't know what it was about that one little thing, but I remember you telling me, you know, Leah, you wouldn't go out and smoke because you're not a smoker, or you wouldn't go out and live a crazy lifestyle because, you know, that's not who you are. Well, if you're a healthy person, then you're not going to eat in a terribly unhealthy way. And it just has helped to change the way that I think about eating and food.
yeah. One of the things I love to say is you have to be something before you do something. And most of the time we're trying to fix our doing. What am I doing
Mm.
wrong? But most starts up here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what I do. And I saw it, you know, gradually happening, but this time I just love it. So do you
Mhm.
mind talking a little bit about the fasting?
Oh,
How has that worked?
it's been such a
And
great tool.
did you when we started talking about fasting, because we didn't really do it that much in the first challenge,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
what were your fears about it, what were your thoughts about it, and what are your thoughts about it now?
Well, first of all, I thought that that was something I could never do. I just didn't think that I could fast. And I began with the intermittent fasting. We had gotten some information about, you know, just narrowing the window of time that you have your meals during the day, and how good that was for your body and for the fat burning and just cleansing of your body. And then when I saw how easy that was, it was just easier, especially when I realized the benefit um, to just push that for longer and longer periods of time. And I think I've done up to about 53-hour fast. And honestly, I can say it's not a difficult thing. Um,
Yeah.
you know, once your body is burning fat instead of those carbohydrate, sugar calories, it's not a hard thing to do. And it's given me a real feeling of being in control of myself. And I like that.
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed some clients have said, and I found this for myself, when when I have control over my food and my thoughts about food and success in that area, then I find that I have success in other areas, you know, like my prayer time and my keeping my closet cleaned up and prepping food and, you know, all those things. Like,
Right.
it helps me to really be mindful.
It does. I
Yeah.
found the same thing, a direct correlation with all of those things.
Right. Well, Leah, can you think of something else? There's somebody out there that you could encourage. I know you're a spiritual person. What would you say to someone out there that's sitting there saying, oh my gosh, I just don't know if this would work, or, I've tried everything. What's different about this? I've done the keto. I've even tried the fasting. Why would this work for me?
I believe this works because it doesn't just address the problem from one direction. Just doesn't just tell you what to eat differently or how to eat differently. It adjusts your mindset. It helps you adjust your self-talk, your eating, of course. Just so many tools that you have to be successful, rather than just you eat this and you don't eat that. It's a lifestyle and not just a program for eating. And that's why
Yeah.
I think that it's successful.
Well, thank you so much. I know Leah and I jumped on the phone once a week for a little while, just to
Yes.
kind of jumpstart even in this last challenge, because sometimes you just need to talk to me, and I'm
Yes.
certainly available. I love to talk to people. I love to, especially when it's talking about, a issue like a rub, and how can I, as a coach, as a life coach and a health coach, ask you questions that will make you have a new awareness about something you could try. And uh, I remember asking you questions like, well, what if you did this? And you were like, I can absolutely do that.
Uh-huh.
So I never said, Leah, you need to do this. That's not how
No.
it works. When you coach somebody, you ask them questions about what's possible for them, and then they get to implement it. And so
Yeah.
I love it. And I thank you for sharing. And you're just great. And I continue on this journey and just be a healthy person. I love the fact that your daughter has done it too.
Yes, she
She's had
has.
success.
And she
Yeah.
has had success. She has, absolutely. It's been nice to have somebody
That's,
to do that with.
yeah. And that's good when you've got little kids, because it's hard. It's
Oh,
really hard to healthy thing when you're at the ballpark and this, that, and the other. So
yeah.
we try to have that. Okay, well, I'm glad we finally got
Me
on here.
too. Thank you.
All right. Well, you have a great day, and thank y'all. Y'all comment and share this video, please. And we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.